All right, and we're here today on plaintiff's motion regarding titled violation of parenting time and parenting time change. All right, so ma'am, this is your opportunity to explain what's been happening, what your request is about, and why you think the court should grant your request. And Mr. Hamlin, you'll be given a chance to respond once Ms. Kalaga is done, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, so ma'am, go ahead.
Okay, so on Friday, September 15th was the day I was supposed to pick up my son for my court-ordered weekend. So I got to the ice cream place at like 5:45. I threw something away. I went in, I got something to drink. I was talking to my sister on the phone. And then I'm like, he's not here yet at 6 o'clock. And so then I waited a couple more minutes and it was like 6:15. And I texted him through the app and was like, are you bringing Ricky or what are you doing? And he said that he was there, but he didn't see me there, which is weird because Charlie Brown's ice cream place, there's only one-way entrance and a one-way exit. So I parked in the same spot. I was parked in the last 4 times that we had to pick up and drop off. As soon as you pull in the entrance to the left, there's like 3 or 4 handicap spots. And then there's a couple regular spots before you curve and it's like a drive-through. And then there's more parking on the other side. So when you pull in the parking lot, you literally have to pass by my car. So apparently he was parked where you pass the drive-through and there's like more spots over here, which is where you exit. And he said, oh, I was on the north side. I didn't see you, so I left. And I said, well, I was here, so why don't you bring him back? And he didn't. And so his house is like 10 minutes from the ice cream place. So I said, okay, well, I'll just pick him up from your house then. So I went to his house and I called the police and he wasn't there. So the police wanted me to meet them at like the end of his road. So I did. And then the police wanted me to go back with them to his house. So then I waited in the car in the driveway and the cop came and went and talked to Matthew up at his house. And then the cop came back down to me. And he said, I told Matthew that you're saying you were there and you're obviously here now and it's your weekend through.
The hearing opens with what appears to be a simple parenting time dispute, but the real issue forms almost immediately. This isn't about one missed exchange. It's about whether either parent has built a system that the court can actually trust.
Through the court, but he's still refusing to release him. He says, you guys can just go to court. And so the cop was like, I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do. I can't enforce custodial stuff. So he gave me a card with his number on it. And he said he recommended filing a show cause hearing because I can have the weekend that I was denied or that I missed made up. And then he suggested changing the location from Charlie Brown's ice cream shop to the Elmont police station since he's stating I wasn't there and I was. So that's what I did.
Did you get your next alternate weekend then?
Or
no?
I did.
Okay. So this is about that one weekend then?
Yeah, I want my weekend made up and I want the location changed.
So what time did you end up at Mr. Hamlin's house when the police came? What time was that? Do you recall?
Probably I called as soon as I got to his house. So I was on the phone with the 911 girl for like a good half an hour because she said it was shift change. So I think it was around 7.
Okay, yeah. All right. So Mr. Hamlin, you want to explain to me what happened?
Yeah, so there's more to it, and it goes back previous visits also. The visit before this, she didn't even show up to at all. I messaged her through the app. I waited there till 2 p.m. Never heard from her. She never responded. This would have been the 2nd. September 2nd for the holiday weekend.
Okay.
She looked at the message at 3:15 p.m. I seen it on the app. She never responded, nothing. So I go there on the 15th. I got there 5:45. And as she said, I pulled in. I pulled around to the north side of the building and parked just in case she was over there. I figure, well, let me see if I sat there. I waited till 6:15. I left. She didn't text me back until 6:25. Are you bringing Ricky up here? And I said, well, I haven't heard from you in a month and a half. I assumed you weren't coming again since you missed your last one. And no, I left. We were getting ready to sit down and eat dinner. We sat down, we ate. She said she was going to come to my house, which she did. I told her you're not supposed to go to my house except on Wednesday.
But why didn't you release your son at that time?
Well, here's the thing. I probably would have, but I was a little upset at the time. I was, and I guess it's no excuse. When the cops came, I guess I should have done that. But you know, she also came to my house before the police got here and bantered my other child and my wife. Cussed them out, told them they're lucky we had dogs or she'd come in this house. And so, yeah, I was a little upset, sir.
Okay, stop. Guys, you guys can't make comments to each other like that.
Yeah, yes, sir.
So guys, just so you know, the court generally provides a half an hour leeway. So if your drop off and pickup time is 6 o'clock, she would have till 6:30. Now that if it's commonly you're late all the time, yeah, people could come and say everybody's pushing it, they're there at 6:30. But if it's one time because you're in a metro area, inclement weather, construction, the court gives a latitude. So regardless of what happened, if she saw you, you did see her, when she called you before 6:30, you guys should have either driven back or gave her your son when she came to the house. So that should have happened. Now, how did the next exchange go? Just fine?
So yeah, the next one went fine. Besides the dinner thing, she brought him home early on the dinner date, this last Wednesday. Just dumped him off. I tried to message her and say, hey, what's going on? Why'd you bring him home early? And was told, don't worry about it. It's my visit. I can bring him anytime I want.
Let's stop. So guys, I'm going to try to answer questions as I hear them arise. So ma'am, what led to cutting off your weekday visit?
Okay, so I was told by Dr. Beckley that when he's disrespectful, I should end the weekday visit and bring him back to his father. So that's exactly what happened. He was disrespectful.
But why wouldn't you tell Mr. Hamlin that?
I did tell him. Well, the first thing he said to me was a lie. He was like, why did you call Ricky a bitch? And I said, I didn't. Ricky was disrespectful to me at dinner at the table. So I left. I'm not going to sit there and let him swear at me and say, oh, you still owe my dad $400 in child support and treat me like shit. Why does my son even know about how much money that I'm supposed to be paying his dad in child support? When my son just sat there and told me, you do nothing for me. You've never done anything for me my whole life. My dad doesn't.
But have you
literally that's not the case.
Okay,
but have you me to just sit there? Excuse me, let me speak for a second.
Well, no. When I speak, ma'am, you stop. Okay. When I speak, I stop. This is my courtroom. So when I speak, you stop. That's how it works. So you guys don't get to talk over me. The point I'm making is, are you still in counseling? Because guys,
yeah, I am. I see Dr. Beckley on a regular basis. His dad hasn't gone at all.
So you guys have been in front of me numerous times, and I'm listening to this, and why I stopped you from talking is you have a bit of a temper. Not that I found you mad at me, but the point I'm making is
the father's explanation begins. The conflict becomes less about who arrived first and more about how each parent interprets responsibility. He immediately widens the timeline by bringing up earlier missed visits, a common courtroom strategy designed to dilute the impact of the current accusation.
You know, it's a conflictory thing. If you want enforceable parenting time, but then as soon as he's disrespectful, and I get you're looking for different coping mechanisms, but I'm going to encourage you, other than just returning him, to try to figure out other ways, because here's what could happen.
I'll talk to Dr. Beckley about that.
Okay, that's what I'm gonna. That's what. That's
somebody through the court is recommending me do that. You're telling me one thing, and then you're telling me another thing. So that's nice.
Well, no, that's not exactly what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, I'm going to encourage you to talk to Dr. Beckley, because I understand you're looking for different tools. Listen to me, but you also may start up the dynamic, and you can tell Dr. Beckley, hey, the referee said. Dr. Beckley's office is right next to me. I talk to him every day. You can say, Referee Nicholas said this. I mean, he works for the court.
I was there. I've seen him there.
But listen. But what you don't want to do is also, and you can tell Dr. Beckley that this is the question I'm going to pose. Okay. You could set up a scenario where Ricky wants to go home, so he just starts acting disrespectful and stuff to try to cut the weekend off or whatever, or the visit, and you could set up a dynamic where he could then say, well, I'm just going to act really bad because mom will take me home. Now, I get you're in a catch-22, because
Right,
you're worried that if you
exactly.
react in a negative way, you raise your voice, he's going to tell his dad, and then you're going to get told that you're too aggressive or angry. But guys, at some point, there's got to be a happy medium. I don't know what it is. I'm just posing scenarios out there and things you should think about, because it could also set up that dynamic that he's like, okay, I want to go home. We're doing our weekend, so I'm just going to act up and mom's going to take me home. You don't want to set that up either. So I'm just saying, pose that question to Dr. Beckley. I'm not saying you're wrong to take him back. I'm not saying that that was inappropriate. I'm just saying, think of other scenarios too. Guys, I know you're in a
Okay,
tough
that's fine.
situation.
I'm completely open to talking to Dr. Buckley about other
Okay.
scenarios. I've never been opposed to
Okay.
that.
Okay, but just realize I'm not criticizing you for taking them back.
Sure.
I'm just saying,
Sure.
what if he decides I'm going to act up all the time so mom will take me home?
Yeah, I get it.
Okay. And
sir,
is there anything? Go ahead, Mr. Hamlin. Go ahead.
So the thing with the weekday visit when she brought him home, I tried to talk to her about it also through the app. My son has a homecoming coming up on October 14th with his brother and his friends. And I was trying to,
Okay.
I actually told her, I said, hey, if you want to take him a little early to talk to him about homecoming, he said, you want to talk to you, then I'm fine with that. Pick him up a little early if you get there, go to dinner, whatever, so he can speak to you. Well, I've already spoke to him. It's none of your business. I said, well, there's more involved than just taking him to the dance on your weekend because his date is out of district. So I had to fill out paperwork to get her, and I'm responsible for her, which is fine. If he's at his mom's, I can still go get his date, meet up.
Okay.
And she,
All
I
right.
told him there's pictures and dinner and other things that they have planned with their friends. I'm just trying to let her know what Ricky is thinking. And basically,
Okay.
she told me if I'm involved in any way, shape, or form, then Ricky's not allowed to go. It's her weekend.
Not what I
Don't worry
said.
about it. It's literally right in the court app. And so he was talking to her again.
Yeah, you can read the court app. That's not what it says.
Nice.
He was talking to her about it. And basically, she said, you can't go if your dad's involved in any way. And he said, fine, I won't go. Let's talk about something else. And that's when she said he was being disrespectful and he was acting like a little effing bee. And then this weekend that just passed, my son told me that she came into the room crying, asking for a hug, and he refused the hug, which I did tell him he should not have done. And then Miss Kalaga asked him how long our son has hated her for. And he told her a long time. And then she said, well, F you, you're not going to homecoming now. You're acting like a little a-hole.
No, that's not what happened.
So Ms. Kalaga, what happened?
Okay, so yes, Ricky did tell me about homecoming recently. So we had 2 talks about it. So for one, I gave Ricky the whole parenting time schedule. As soon as last time I saw you, July, whatever it was, 28th or something like that, August 28th, whatever our last order was. The 16th most updated one, I gave Ricky a copy. So he knows what weekends he's going to be with me, what holidays he's going to be with me, what birthdays, so he can coordinate whatever he wants. Okay. So we were eating at Chili's and this was the other time, one of our other Wednesday visits. And I'm like, when is your homecoming? Are you sure it's not on a weekend you have me? Because we need to figure that out. And he said, nope, it's for sure on a Tuesday or Thursday. And I said, that's weird. Usually it's on a weekend, but you're going to a country school. I don't know. Stuff might be weird out there. And so I didn't think about it again. And then followed to fast forward to what he's saying the Wednesday where I dropped him off early. Yes, he did tell me, but his dad proposed it to me like, I'll be taking him to homecoming. He doesn't want you to have any part of it. No, it is my weekend with him. There is nothing wrong with me dropping my son off at a dance and picking him up. I have no problem whatsoever if his father wants to chaperone the homecoming dance, which his father told me he would be chaperoning. That's fine. Why would that bother me at all? I will take him to get pictures, to do the pictures. Why am I not allowed to go? It's my weekend.
You
I
can
have
go.
no problem with Max doing
Okay,
whatever
then
he
we'll-
wants. It's a
so
free
what I'm
world.
gonna-
I can't
okay,
stop him. And so
so
I
what I'm
told
gonna-
Ricky,
Okay.
and he said, okay, well, if you're going to be part of it, then I don't want to go. That's on him. That's not on me.
The discussion shifts away from the missed exchange and exposes a much deeper concern about parenting philosophy. The referee isn't criticizing discipline itself. He's questioning whether the current approach unintentionally rewards the very behavior it's supposed to discourage.
May I speak?
Sure.
I literally have it in a court app where she tells me, and I never said she couldn't go. I just told her there was paperwork involved, that I'm responsible for that girl. She said, I'll fill the paperwork out. I'll take her. If
Yeah,
you're going
I
to have
would.
anything to, yeah,
But if
you
you're
can't because
refusing,
you
what am I
can't
supposed
because
to do?
you don't live in this district. You can't. It's between the school district and the family that lives in the school district.
Okay, well, let me see the paperwork because I don't believe you.
Okay, guys,
It's
so everybody take a pause. So Mr. Hamlin, explain this. You just said if she wants to take him on homecoming weekend, she's got to do it. But now you're saying she can't because she has to have permission for his date.
I'm saying she can't pick up his date. That's what I'm telling her. If she wants to be part of it, that's more willing. That's fine.
So you have to pick up his date and transport her separate than him. So
I don't believe that. That makes no sense. Why would it matter where I live?
Guys, ma'am, stop. When I'm talking, guys, don't talk when I'm talking.
Yes, sir.
So, sir, you're telling me you're going to have to pick her up. Her parents are going to have to give her to her date's dad, and you're going to have to drive her separate. And she's going to have to drive your son separate and not the dates together.
Yeah, yes, sir.
That's what I'm hearing.
Basically, she lives in a different district. So the paperwork's actually at Jeanette right now, Ricky's old school.
She lives where I live in my district. There's nothing
she
wrong.
does.
I don't understand why I couldn't fill out the paperwork.
So Mr. Hamlin, ma'am, stop. I'm asked. I'll get there. So, Mr. Hamlin, you're saying the school district saying his mom can't pick up his date and drive her to the.
So I have to fill out my district, Emily City Community Schools. I had to sign as Ricky's parent. I had Ricky sign. My district signs the paper, then we give it to Jeanette. Her mother signs, she signs, and then that district.
I got you.
So I am on that paper for my district. She can't sign.
But you guys can't. You can't say hi. You can't say hi. We're in a divorce situation, and he's with the other parent that weekend, and she can't take him and his date to the prom.
Exactly. So you're telling me everybody that's divorced, their other parent can't do that? I don't believe that.
Well, ma'am, when I'm asking him, I don't want you guys talking to each other because it turns into an argument. If I'm asking the same question you're asking, you don't have to interject in there.
And all I'm going to say on that is I don't know for 100% sure.
So you guys can check. Guys, guess what? This is what I'm going to do. I'm not a micromanager. I'm going to say, you guys check with the school.
Yes, sir, I will.
If and ma'am, you can do it too. If whatever she's got to do, I suggest that you guys keep the peace, because the worst thing that can happen is you guys get into a dispute in front of your son's date and have it spiral out of control and have another family and another parents involved and have a mess. Don't let that happen. If that happens, I'm going to be unhappy, and Judge Dennings, I don't usually talk for the judge. She's not going to be thrilled.
Yes, sir.
You guys, you keep the peace, make it peaceful. You now have another child involved. Whatever happens, don't get in a fight with the exchange with this girl. Keep your peace, behave appropriately, and make it happen. I want him to go to this dance. Now, I understand that you have this bad dynamic going where now he now is in custody of dad, and at some level, sir, you got to do some heavy lifting too. You have to say, listen, your mom gave up custody voluntarily. She has restricted parenting time. He's not in control of the whole show. I know, and no offense, Ms. Cullega, we've talked about this. You have a bit of a temper and you use colorful language, but I have to figure your son is somewhat used to it. I'm going to count on you, ma'am, to work on that, but I'm going to count on you to work on that. But she's already given a lot. She's given up custody. She's got restricted parenting time, and therefore he's got to recognize that he's got his heavy debt. And you guys are still meeting with Dr. Beckley, but you all have a role to play, ma'am. Your son now is hypersensitive to you using profanity and that kind of stuff. And now he's a teenager and he's like, I
respect your opinion, but I'm not here for that today. So there's one other thing I'd like to bring up.
Wait, what did you say to me?
I said that's your opinion that he's hypersensitive.
You're not here for my opinion today?
No, that's not what I said.
What did you say?
I said I'm not here today to talk about him being hypersensitive to the way that I speak.
You understand that I can say whatever I like as the court. I'm making a point based on my repeated history on your case. So if you want to talk in a defensive way that's dismissive of what I'm saying, I'm going to think that all these times in front of me, you're not listening to me. I've done this 25 years. Guess I've learned a few things. Guess what? I'm not a total idiot. You may think that. Don't tell me now. You can share that with whoever you want, not during court. This is a courtroom. I'm saying from my 25 years of history, this is the dynamic that happens. I've ruled on thousands of cases. You have a teenager now who's hypersensitive. He got a change of custody. He's hypersensitive to you swearing at him and using profanity. So you got this bad dynamic going now because now he thinks he's in control because he got a custody change. And I'm saying to Mr. Hamlin on your behalf, he's got to say to your son, you have duties here too. Mom gave up custody. Mom is on an every other weekend schedule, but you got your heavy different. You can't go to mom's and tell her, too bad for you. You're this awful person. You're a horrible mom. There's consequences to that.
Yes, sir.
The conversation surrounding homecoming reveals that this dispute has grown far beyond scheduling. The dance becomes a symbol of control, influence, and loyalty inside a divided family. Each parent insists they support the event, yet both approach it from entirely different perspectives.
Yes, sir.
But you all have your duty. You know he's now hypersensitive to how you communicate with him. I don't have the right answers. Talk to the psychologist. But at some level,
sure.
I'm identifying the issues that you are having.
Okay.
Okay.
Is there one other thing I can say?
Yep.
Okay, so he was between the time of me not seeing him for the weekend that I was denied and the time that I seen him, he was hospitalized and his dad only notified me through the court app. So I'd like it put in the
Okay.
order for him to at
Tell-
least
tell
call
me-
me through the court app. That would be nice since I have my notifications set to
You guys, when
I
there's
wasn't even in the
emergency shit,
state. And also, why did his school not call me? Did his dad not list me as an emergency contact on any of his school stuff? Because I asked his dad for the login to check his grades since he does have an IEP. He won't provide that. So I've called the school and left messages about that. Nobody's called me back.
so your joint legal custodian should have all access to his stuff. So tell me
Right.
about this. Tell me about the hospitalization, Mr.
Are you
Hamlin, can
talking to
tell
me or
about
to
that?
him?
I'm talking to Mr. Hamlin. I said
Okay.
Mr. Hamlin.
So
So Mr. Hamlin, tell me about this hospitalization.
we received a call from the school that he was in gym class and collided with another student and took a knee to the back of the head. Ricky thought
Okay.
that he might have blacked out. So as a precaution, we took him to the hospital just to get tested. I sent her a screenshot of the hospital. I let her know exactly what was going on. I let her know that the exams came back fine. I let her know that all the information was good, that he was okay. And then she didn't check it for 26 hours. Then
But
she
did
said,
you call her? So
I did-
take
I
a
did-
breath.
I did not
Did
call her.
you
I
call
just-
her?
No,
Okay,
sir.
stop. So
No,
let me,
sir.
I'm gonna cut to the chase. Stop. I'm gonna make a point. App close is for day-to-day, regular decisions, regular occurrences.
Yes, sir.
Emergencies such as a child almost having a concussion, you guys pick up the phone and call each other and say, we're going to urgent care, we're going to the emergency. So you both, emergencies don't count with the app close applications. You can put
Yes,
it in
sir.
there too if you want to document it, but you guys should be calling each other. So she's saying, I wanted the opportunity to possibly come to urgent care of the hospital. Maybe she would have, maybe she wouldn't, but she
Yes,
didn't
sir.
have that opportunity.
I-
So
I
heaven
understand.
forbid, something worse would have happened and there would have been more of a critical emergency. She might have liked to be there. Great.
I
It's
understand.
good that
I-
everything turned out okay and you filled her in, but do you understand you should have given her a
No,
call?
yes, sir, I understand. I just kind of thought since it was like a precautionary thing that he said he felt okay, that it like not
All right.
emergency per se, I guess. So that's my mistake. I apologize for that.
Okay. And ma'am, are you on the emergency list in the school portal?
How would I know
no?
if his dad doesn't give me the information? I would hope so, but apparently
well,
not.
you have joint legal custody, so you should be able to contact the
Right.
school and be on
So I
everything.
did contact the school. Nobody has contacted me back.
So the thing
Okay,
about the
I'll put in
portal,
this order. Go ahead.
the thing about the portal is, and I told her that I would try to get the info for her. She'd call the school to inquire. There's a parent portal and a student portal. She needs to sign up to a parent portal through her email. I'm not giving her my email
I don't
and all
want
my
his email.
information. You have to make your own portal. It's Power School. You had it at Jeanette.
Right, she gets it. She's not good. She doesn't think she's gonna use yours.
Right. So if she
All right.
had Power School at Jeanette, all she has to do is go on that app, type in Emily City School District, and then fill it out. That's all she has to do.
All right, and I gotta imagine there's instructions on the school website
Yes,
too, I
sir.
would hope. As well.
Yes, sir.
All right, anything else, guys, before I make my decision, let you guys go for the day?
I mean, can we go back for some more visits or are we done with that? Because
What do you
every
want to talk
visit-
about? What do you want to talk about?
Well, so on her first visit, 8/6, which was still a daytime visit, Miss Kalaga tried to force my son to scrub the floors and walls, and he told her no, so she made him sit outside in the pouring rain. He came back to me soaking wet, was sick the next day. I had messaged her, no response. The next visit on the 19th to the 20th, which would have been her first overnight, she picked him up at 1:30 on the 19th. He didn't eat till 11 p.m. at her brother's house. The following day on the 20th, no breakfast, no lunch, no dinner. I messaged her, no response. Then the no-show on the 2nd, like I said, and then she tried to turn it around and say it was my holiday, which right in the court order, that didn't start till the 15th.
Okay.
And no communication since our last, like I said, since July 28th. I've had no communication with her. She hasn't responded to anything to me until the 15th when she was not there.
All right. So ma'am, you want to respond to all of that?
Yeah. Okay. So I was under the impression that we were going by the 16th district for the weekend, and it was his holiday for Labor Day. Yeah, I wasn't even in the state. So no, I didn't take him for that weekend. And if he wants me to get an extra weekend to make up for the one that he denied me, sure, I'll take it. I literally thought it was his holiday. And then no, Ricky has the same food he's always had in this same house. My fridge is right there his whole life. He had eggs, he had Velveeta mac and cheese, he had whatever he wanted. If I ask him, do you want, and then my friend Jenna said the same thing. I took him over there when we went swimming. We made a bunch of tacos. He wouldn't eat. I'm not going to force the kid to eat. If he says no and then goes home and tells his dad, oh, my mom doesn't feed me, what do you want me to do?
At this stage, the referee shifts his attention from isolated disagreements to the unhealthy relationship forming between the teenager and both parents. His concern isn't simply about disrespectful language. He's identifying a power imbalance where the child risks believing he now controls the emotional direction of every interaction.
All right. So you never punished him or said you're not eating out of
No.
punishment.
Oh, but the time that he's
never
talking
had
about,
no food.
no, but the time he's talking about where he was outside, yeah, I had him for a couple hours that day, and I asked him to bring in the groceries that we got, and he refused to. And I said, okay, well, if you're not going to bring in any of the groceries, you can just stay outside until it's time to go home. I'll leave the groceries right here on the porch. So he was perfect. All he had to do was bring in a bag, and he could have came inside. He chose to stand outside.
Was it a covered porch?
No, it's my front yard. If he's choosing not.
Was it raining? Was he getting drenched in rain?
It was sprinkling. Like, yeah, it wasn't like a thunderstorm. It was in the summer.
What was the temperature?
It was like 70 or 80 out. He had a t-shirt on. It was before last time we were here. It's in August, man. It's like the hottest time of the year. And I had him at 1:30 in the afternoon.
You checked the weather that weekend. It was not that warm.
Stop sniping at each other. So ma'am, you think that the best way of punishing him is having him sit in the rain rather than come in and pursue some other form of punishment for being disrespectful?
It would have been a lot easier if he just picked up a bag and came inside.
Sir,
go ahead, and then guys, I'm going to make my rec.
I'm just trying to, and I have no problem communicating with her. She will literally refuse it to. I don't, I don't understand, and I understand why my kid doesn't want to go there. You force a kid to sit in the rain, whether it's sprinkling or not, it's 4 hours. He's in a t-shirt, he's soaking wet. She made him put a towel in the car so as not to get her seat wet, but she don't care if he's wet. She doesn't feed him. And she can say whatever she wants. She should be providing it. I understand you got a box of cereal.
You think that she's starving him at her house?
I honestly do. If you got a box of cereal for breakfast, that's fine. You want to make a sandwich for lunch? She should at least be preparing dinner for him at the bare minimum. He shouldn't be having to go over there and cook his own meals. Okay, he's 14 years old. She's not showing up for visits. She's showing up late to visits.
I was never late. And the only one I didn't show up to was one that was your holiday, so that's fine.
It wasn't my holiday. It was court order.
Okay, man.
All right. For you to pick him up.
Guys, I've heard enough. Stop talking to each other. All right. So the fine is my recommendation, the temporary order of the court. You both have 21 days to object. If no objects within 21 days, this will remain the order of the court. So 1, plaintiff shall be entitled to 1 makeup weekend to be exercised in the next 90 days. So guys, I'm not going to limit you to like, I'm going to give you 3 months to figure out a weekend that you guys want to do that. 2, as joint legal custodian, plaintiff shall be placed on the minor child's emergency contact list. And the
She's
school
already
shall
on
give
that
her
list.
full. Okay. The school, well, then there.
Why
then
didn't
there's
the
no
school
problem.
call me then?
I don't work for the school. I don't know.
Guys, stop.
Okay.
The school doesn't call you and say, hey, you're on a list or not. You guys
No,
have
but
to
they would
take
call
action
me
and
when my
check
kid
it
has
out.
a concussion, don't you think?
I don't know. Take it up with the school. Do I look like the school, y'all? I'm gonna get blunt. Do I look like the school? Call the school. Take your joint legal order up there from August. You guys just did a consent order in August. Take it up there. I'm putting in this order so you can show this order to the school too. I don't need comments while I'm doing my rec. No more comments.
Yes, sir.
All right. So plaintiff, if she isn't already, she should be included as an emergency contact. As joint legal custodian, she shall have all access to school records, report cards, etc. 3, parties shall cooperate in plaintiff having access to the school portal. What are we on? 4? 4, the minor child shall be allowed to attend homecoming on October 14th, 2023. Parties shall contact the school to see if plaintiff may transport their son's date. If plaintiff is unable to provide transportation or chooses not to, she shall give defendant the opportunity to provide the transportation to and from the homecoming dance or the game and dance. Is it right after the homecoming game or no?
No, so the game is actually on Friday from 6 to 8, and then the
Okay.
dance is on Saturday
Okay.
from 7 to 10.
All right. Okay. So it's separate. So guys, see if she can take him, ma'am. You have a duty to call them too. Don't get in a fight. Talk to other parents. If not, if you don't want to do it or are unable because of work or other reasons, you're welcome to tell Mr. Hamlin and have him provide the transportation. What I'm doing is because of whatever's going on, I'm precluding discipline from preventing him from going. He's going to go. So
Yes,
find
sir.
another method of discipline if that's been an issue.
Custody changes often reshape family dynamics overnight, and teenagers can quickly recognize where leverage exists. The referee makes it clear that neither parent should allow that imbalance to grow. He expects the mother to improve how she communicates, but he places an equally important responsibility on the father to prevent resentment from becoming permanent.
I don't think denying him this game is going to help. Even if he's being a pill, I don't think denying him homecoming is going to get him where you want him to go. It's just going to cause more resentment and angry. So guys, I would suggest keep going to Dr. Beckley. I'm not going to order you to do that, but she gets 1 makeup weekend for the one missed when she came there with the police within a half an hour of parenting time. Guys, it's a half an hour leeway. Emergency, I'm going to put in here, party shall use app, you guys use app close, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Party shall call each other if there's an emergency, i.e. emergency room, urgent care visit. They may place the same in app close, but may not use an app close as a communication alternative when there is an emergency. Does that make sense?
Yes,
Call
sir.
each other up when there's an emergency.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, guys. And what about the drop off and pickup? Ma'am, you want that switched to the
Yeah.
Elmont Police Station?
Correct.
I'm 100% fine with that.
All right. Parenting time exchanges shall occur at the Elmont Police Station.
But the
All
Wednesday
right, guys.
visits are still at his house, correct?
Do you want the week? So you're saying you want the weekends at the police station, but the dinner time at his house?
Well, I was told to go to his house because apparently he's not out of work at that time. That's the only reason I was ever.
Is that okay? So
Yeah,
dinner
that's
will
fine.
be from the house and weekends. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So parties shall use the Elmont Police Station for exchanges on the weekends and from defendant's home for the weekday dinner time. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's just.
All
what I
right,
wanted to
guys.
double check.
All right, guys, you guys have 21 days to object. If you decide you don't like this order, you always have the right to object and go before the judge. If he feels differently, you will not get in trouble. It's your right under the law. Okay?
Yes, sir. May I ask one more thing?
Yep.
On this homecoming, I have no problem with her doing the transportation if the school's fine with it. But again, we have pictures and like dinner. Can we make that sure that he can get to that also?
I would be
I would think
providing
that-
the transportation for that. It's my weekend with him. Why would I
Okay.
not take him to
Okay.
the dinner and the pictures?
So he just
I
wants to confirm he will be allowed to go to the dinner with all the other kids and
Oh,
pictures
yes,
with their
of
families.
course. Yeah.
And-
Okay.
And
Make
and
it
one more
happen.
thing-
If it doesn't happen, I'm going to be ticked.
yes, sir. And one more thing, I just want her to realize and know that my other son is attending and he will be at all of it. So I will be there and so will my wife.
Guys, if all parents
Has
want to
nothing
get together and
do
take
with
pictures,
me.
guys, listen. You guys are expected to behave appropriately. If all the parents want to
Yes,
be
sir.
around to take pictures at a park or wherever you're meeting, you can all
Yes,
be
sir.
there. Keep it
Yes, sir.
together. The last thing you want to do is embarrass your son and get in a fight in front of other parents.
Yes,
You
sir.
guys know how to behave. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So good luck. If you guys want to object, you have 21 days. We're going to email you a copy of this order of objection procedure. You guys are all set. Have a very good day.
The father's additional complaints broaden the discussion beyond one exchange and challenge the mother's day-to-day parenting decisions. Allegations involving meals, discipline, and missed communication are emotionally charged because they question basic parental judgment rather than isolated mistakes. The referee listens carefully but avoids turning the hearing into a contest of personal attacks. Instead, he keeps redirecting the focus toward whether each parent's decisions actually serve the child's best interests. The discussion about leaving the teenager outside during punishment becomes particularly important. Even if the mother believed the consequence was reasonable, the referee immediately examines whether a different approach could have achieved the same goal without creating unnecessary risk or future conflict. That's how experienced family courts operate. They rarely judge discipline based solely on intent. They evaluate whether the chosen method improves the parent-child relationship or simply creates another grievance that fuels ongoing litigation. The hearing gradually exposes a recurring theme. Both parents continue reacting to each other instead of responding to what their son genuinely needs. The referee's final ruling reflects a practical attempt to reduce future conflict instead of rewarding either parent's arguments. Granting a make-up weekend acknowledges that the missed parenting time deserved a remedy without escalating the dispute into harsher sanctions. Requiring the mother to receive full access to school records and emergency contacts reinforces that joint legal custody only works when both parents have equal access to important information. The referee also removes unnecessary uncertainty by establishing clear emergency communication rules and approving a neutral police station for weekend exchanges. Those adjustments aren't dramatic punishments. They're preventive measures designed to eliminate predictable sources of conflict before they become new court cases. His strongest message, however, centers on homecoming. He refuses to let adult disagreements deprive the teenager of a milestone that should remain focused on friends, memories, and normal adolescence. The hearing closes with an unmistakable warning that future cooperation will be judged by actions, not promises. The court has now provided a roadmap for successful co-parenting, and the responsibility for following it rests entirely with the parents.